my dear friends. I hope you all are doing great. So, today we are going to start with function in Python. Okay, so without any further delay, let's move to our coding part. So, let me tell you, my dear friends, about the functions in Python. So, a function in Python is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. That means that is used to perform a particular task that we want. So let's say, my dear friends, I'm having 700 lines of code, and from that there are 4 lines of code which are getting repeated again and again in my code. So I will simply write them inside a function, and I can simply call that function again and again, and then I can use that. All right, my dear friends. So let me just tell you, so function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. It helps to make programs organized, reusable, and readable. I hope this is pretty much clear to all of you. Let's move forward to the next part. So, how we will define a function? We will firstly start our function with a defined keyword. Then we will be writing our function name. Inside the parenthesis, I will be writing the parameters, then double dot symbol would be there. And then inside these, I will be writing my codes. And then at the end, I will be returning the result. I hope this is pretty much clear to all of you. So this was the basic syntax of a function in Python. Okay, my dear friends. So let me show you more. So let's say, my dear friend, I define a function named as greet, and inside the brackets, I do not pass any parameter, but I simply write here double dot and I will print hello world. Wow! So our very first function is ready. So congratulations to all of you that we have made our very first function today. So you can write the first function in the comment section. You can write the comment that I have created my first function in Python. All right. So let's just move forward, my dear friends, then to the next part. So let me create a, let's say, new.py. I'm creating a new Python file. Inside that file, I'm going to write the same function that we have just created. So I will simply write print hello world. All right, my dear friends. So that is how I have written my first function. These 2 lines of code I have written. And let me just zoom in a little bit so that the lines of code will be more clear to all of you. Okay. Now let me just call this function greet, since nothing was printed because I did not call my function. So calling a function is really an important task. Okay, my dear friends. So if I will call this function greet and I will run this code. So yeah, you can see over here, hello world is getting printed. I hope this is getting pretty much clear to all of you. Let me show you that again. So you can see hello world output is getting printed over here. So my dear friends, let's create a very basic function in Python now to, let's say, add 2 numbers. Okay, my dear friends. So let's say I will define add, and here will be A and B. Okay, my dear friends. Inside the brackets, I have passed 2 parameters A and B, the 2 numbers that I want to add. And simply in this function, I will simply return A plus B. I hope this is getting pretty much clear to all of you. Okay. So now let's say I want to call this function. Okay. Let's say I want to call this function. I want to add 2 numbers, 4 and 5. And I want to store my result in a variable called as result. So I will simply create a variable result, and then I will call my function, and then I will simply print result at the end. So yeah, so as we can see, our result 9 is getting printed at the end. I hope, my dear friends, this was pretty much clear to all of you. So that's all about today. So in today's class, we simply learned about functions in Python, and we also learned very basic syntax for writing a function in Python. And also we made a very basic function on the addition of two numbers. So in our upcoming class, we will be learning about types of functions in Python. So stay tuned for more. Till then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And do hit the like button. Thank you.